Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Strompcast episode 202. We've got a jam-packed episode for you today, but before we get into anything, let me introduce you to my co-host. First, got the main man, Danny. How you doing today, man?
Happy Halloween, motherfuckers! Doing well, bro. Are we live?
Yeah.
Oh, it doesn't show it on my fault. My fault.
We're live.
Just doesn't say go. I'm tripping out on my thing. Okay. Anyways, glad to be back on for another podcast, boys. Big dub yesterday. And you're going to see me munching on some Smarties throughout the pod because, yeah, like I said, happy Halloween, motherfuckers.
Happy Halloween.
Fair enough. And let's go Richard Hayden today, man.
I am good. I'm very good. A big dub yesterday. Draw in the Europa League. It's Halloween. It's good. It's a good day. Just a nice day. Can't complain.
Yeah, fair enough. And last but not least, we've got Chris Hayden today, man.
I'm doing good. Over here in the East Coast, we got that fall weather setting in.
Yeah.
I did eat so much candy at work, my stomach started to hurt by like 1 p.m. So I stopped. So that's my Halloween experience today. Shout out to those celebrating or who celebrated. I feel like most people celebrate over the weekend.
I did mine over the weekend.
Unless you have like kids.
drank.
Today's mostly for like little kids and stuff. But if you're doing that, have fun.
Yeah.
We're top of the league. Yeah, we're top of the league. 3 points clear. Feeling good.
Yeah, definitely. And you can follow myself here. Most importantly, make sure you follow all things Alvalade on every social media platform and where you get a good podcast. Now, before we get into anything, we do have a sort of surprise announcement. On Friday, we are dropping some very good content, and that's all we're going to say. But Friday, around 8 p.m. my time. So I don't know what time that would be.
At 4 o'clock our time, because we're about now 4 hours behind.
Keep an eye.
4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, 8 o'clock British/Portuguese Standard Time. We got something. We cooked. Let's just say that we cooked.
Most definitely. So yeah, make sure you follow us on social media to follow that, and especially on YouTube as well. Make sure you subscribe as well, because it helps us out in the meantime. But yeah, definitely dropping some good content on Friday, and it is a guest. That's what we will say. It's definitely a guest. So it's not like a quiz or anything. It's a guest. But that is Friday. We'll look back on the past. I guess we'll start off with the most recent game, which was on Monday, which was Sporting versus Boavista, which ended in a 2-0 win for Sporting. The lineup is as followed. Adan in goal, Diamonde, Coates, Inacio.
Back angle.
Yeah, Adan back in goal.
He reclaimed his rightful spot.
Well, I don't know if rightful.
Settle down there, Chris.
Mateus Reis,
Halloween candy.
Left back, Jenny right back, Hulman, Morita, Edwards, Pedro Gonzalez got the goal, Jokeres, and St. Just, Ricardo Gardner, Santos Paulinho, Trincao came on as well. Richard, I'll start with you, I suppose. What were your thoughts on the game?
Well, Jenny Katamo shut up a few haters this game. This was a very good game from Jenny. Great goal. He almost had a banger even early on in the game, the one that went off the side netting there. I thought he looked really good. Jokeres didn't look great, but he wasn't getting a lot of service initially. So that can be kind of attributed to that. But he was still doing a decent job getting to loose balls, kind of getting into space. The ones that didn't stand out to me, Morita had a very quiet game. He had that stumble in the second half, which my grandfather called him drunk after. He goes, "This guy's fucking drunk. What the hell is he doing? Stumbling around." Yeah, not his greatest game. I thought Edwards looked okay. Pedro Gonçalves was kind of he wasn't having the worst game of all time, but he wasn't having a great game. The goal salvages his goal point rating a bit. I thought when Paulinho came in, we were gonna get another one right quick. Like he almost scored right off the bat. He had like just tons of energy when he came in. Hulman had a really good game, I thought, as well. I think his rating's kind of harsh on him. I thought he played very well. And I'm not going to lie, that Antonio Adan 6.0 is kind of generous because there was a couple of moments that looked a little sketchy. I shared it in the chat with Chris and you guys. It was the corner kick, almost an Olympico, basically. And instead of catching the ball, he just volleyball like buries it away. And I'm like, what are you doing? catch the ball. Like, it's right at your hands. And then the Sporting Twitter almost immediately after goes, that with like a lock emoji. I'm like, I don't know about that one, Chief. That was a little sketchy. But yeah, then back in goal after we got Franco Israel in the Europa League. Overall, like a good game. I thought they could have scored more. Boavista looked dangerous on the counter. They had a couple, half chances. They were tough to break down at times. They were actually, for the first 5-6 minutes, all over us. They came out really energetic. It was a decent crowd at the Stadio de Bassa, but yeah, overall, we'll take a 2-0 win. I thought we played well. I thought we deserved the win. No really bad games except for Pot until the goal, and I guess Morita just because he stood out to me as not being great. And I guess Kawach went off kind of hurt. We're not really sure. It seems just more like someone was just kind of a little agitated and he came off as more of a precautionary thing, which I'm fine with. We've got center backs to spare. We have some center back depth, so all in all, okay.
Yeah, fair enough. I'll take it quickly. I just want to share something that summed up a performance from a player, and that was Pedro Gonçalves, because a lot of people came at me when he scored, and I feel like this is exactly what I feel about.
Is it the Zach Lowy tweet? Shit. Oh,
Yes,
shit game.
yeah.
Scores a master. Game that scores a master. It's not that far off.
Because I still think he was terrible. Like, he just was not good.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, it was a great goal and it was a fantastic finish. Don't get me wrong. But I just thought, man, he just is not doing it for me at the moment. It just looks sloppy. Doesn't look confident. And that the
Diomande had a weird game as well because he gave it away like several times in the first half.
Yeah,
but then
I think it's the pitch because everyone
was. That pitch was not in good shape. It was a shambolic pitch by the end of that game.
Yeah, and I think it was sort of an off game for everyone. The only player I thought did well, and I'm going to follow in the footsteps of a Mr. Danny Saldana and say a public apology of mine is to Jenny, because I was one who said, he couldn't start, he shouldn't be able to start. This game he started and he was incredible from minute 0 to, I think he came off in like the 70th minute. He was just absolutely incredible. Getting kicked left, right and centre, like he's probably going to be a sore one this morning, but he was just incredible. And obviously the goal he scored as well was just as good, and an actual cross completed from Matthias Reis as well, which is even more crazy.
It's a miracle.
Yeah, but I think it was just an off game. I don't know if it was the pitch or it was anything else, but I think everyone seemed off. Gyökeres seemed off. I thought Pedro Gonçalves and Edwards. I thought Edwards was good in the first half. Second half, not so much. But I tweeted out yesterday. I was like, it looks like Boavista still haven't paid the groundsman.
Yeah, I was just going to pay the pitch. I think we have our proof that Boavista hasn't paid their grounds crew.
No, it was just absolutely terrible pitch. Everyone was slipping everywhere. The only other thing I want to really mention about this game is, again, Adan. Like, he had so many shots that just straight at him, punching to the floor, and I think Boavista players, especially towards the end, sort of copped on and were like, "Okay, we're going to shoot."
There was one. There was another one too, like not like right near the end, but late in the second half. It was a shot from distance, and he almost like goes over it instead of like trying to get right at it or under it, and he kind of punches it into the ground. I'm like, just again, parry it to the side or catch. It was just like it looks so awkward. And it wasn't like the ball dipped on him last second while he was diving where he had to adjust. It was staying relatively steady. And he just did one of these and kind of punched to the ground. It was so odd looking. Yeah. Bro's fucking washed. I'm just going to say, he's washed. He's cooked.
Yeah, and I think as well, watching, obviously we're going to get into the Europa League game, but watching Franco Israel there as well didn't fill me with much confidence either. But I guess he doesn't play a lot to get the confidence. Some of the stuff he was doing was just like, I've seen like third division keepers. I've seen keepers that play in League One, obviously following Stevenage, that know how to do that. But whatever, we'll get onto that at that point. I thought Hjulmand was very good this game. I thought he had a really excellent game. Morita, I agree, was sort of off. But I think the only two standouts for me were Jenny and Hjulmand. I thought they were good. Diomande to an extent as well. I thought Inacio's rating is a bit generous. I didn't see too much of him. He gave the ball away quite a few times as well. But glad to see St. Just get some more minutes as well. So hopefully he's sort of getting geared up to hopefully lasting a full 90. Because against in the Tassa he played 82 minutes or something like that.
Yeah,
so,
it was 81, 82. You're right.
rested in the Europa League. I don't know if he's going to play the Europa League games or if that's a competition that they've agreed that he's just going to sit out, which could make
I was a
sense.
bit surprised by that, to be honest, because I hadn't
Yeah.
really heard anything about it leading up to it, and then it was just like, oh shit, he's in the goal, you know.
He's there, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and something that made me laugh as well. I don't know if you guys remember it when Hjulman got the yellow card towards the end. The referee just sort of took so long. Like Hjulman was arguing his face.
He literally
referee-
waited for Hjulman
Yeah.
to finish, and then he held up.
Yeah,
So dramatic.
It was very
Yeah.
Yeah, it
not
was so
funny.
dramatic, bro.
It was such a dramatic nonsense thing.
Fucking.
But no.
Yeah.
That did make me laugh.
Our ref had
But-
main character syndrome in that moment.
Yeah. But other than that, I thought, to be fair, I thought Boavista played quite well. They played better than I expected them to play. They were quite dangerous at some aspects. Obviously, the offside goal, which we'll talk about as well, was definitely a wake-up call to Sporting. Nuno Santos left his man just roaming around. Luckily that we weren't punished for it. But I agree with you about Portuguese. Came on, I thought we were going to score another. Trincao impressed me since coming on as well. He sort of almost like had a point to prove, but unfortunately didn't come anything of it. But, you know, I'm happy with the 3 points, like Chris said earlier, we're top of the league. So, you know, it all works out for me. Speaking of Chris, what were your thoughts on this game?
Yeah, you know, it's a game that, you know, obviously I think that we did enough to win, right? But, you know, it was only 1-0, and we did concede an equalizing goal in like the 80th minute, and we got basically pretty lucky that that the guy was just barely offside. Now I do think he was offside, and you can kind of basically see that he's offside with the naked eye. The 27 centimeters is where there's a bit of controversy.
That seems big. That seems a bit of a big gap for what I'm seeing
it-
visually.
Yeah, it just looks like the line drawn on the Sporting player is just not 100% accurate. But the line
that
from,
makes 27 centimeters not look like
27
a lot.
is not a lot in real life, but for the decisions like these, it's like, you know, usually under like 10-15 is when it's real tight. 27, I mean, it's like, oh shit, you know, it wasn't even like so close, but you know, I think it was actually probably closer than that. But I do think it was the right decision in the end. Bozanic, he's a good striker, man. All he needs is one half chance, and he can put it in the back of the net. You know, our keeper, you know, it's not his fault on this one, but again, you know, he doesn't do us any favors. It's not like this was rifled top corner or anything like that.
It's a bouncer.
It goes in, you know, right center of the goal. But it's a good finish from Bozanic at the near post either way. So I'm not going to take anything away from him. Although I just say, you know, the thing about Don is he doesn't do you any favors. You know, he didn't do us any favors.
He didn't help.
Would have been nice if he could have come up with it or parried it away, but not going to happen.
Get a finger to it.
It's not going to happen here most of the time. I Boavista, I feel like they just made the game like a bit frenetic, a bit broken at times, just kind of like no possession, just kind of just like manic at times, and just kind of like turnover, which to be fair, you know, that probably, you know, benefits them more than us, and that's probably what they were looking to do. So it definitely worked for stretches in the first half and in the second half as well. They didn't do enough for me to warrant anything from this game. So I do think that the result in the end is just 2-0 is probably a just score. Pot, at the end, he has a nice goal to kind of, paper over a lot of the frustrations.
It inflates the goal point rate.
He did have a nice, was it a free kick? I believe as well. He skipped.
He had
it
a good
in
free
front of
kick
the
early
keeper.
on. That was a decent save.
He was also through on goal, hit the post, a little unlucky.
Oh
there,
yeah,
too.
when he was on the ground. That was a great ball from Hjulman that led to that. Yeah, Hjulman was a smooth operator in this game. Really like him. It was mentioned earlier by someone, but not a Gyökeres game. I saw something like he averages like 50 some odd touches, and he had like less than half of that. I mean, you could just tell he wasn't involved. He wasn't on the ball. He wasn't running balls down in the channels and just like getting there somehow like 5 times. Like it maybe happened once. So yeah, frustrating game from Gyökeres. But I mean, we've seen it before.
It happens.
He has a bad game every now and again. The man is human after all. He can't just be a complete tank every single game for 90 minutes straight, right? So I'll let it slide. Yeah, Paulinho came in right off the bench, had a chance, could have scored. Yeah, I don't really have too much else that hasn't been said. I guess I'm slightly concerned about Kawats, but if St. Juste is getting healthier, it makes it less of a big deal. But obviously, I'm not just going to be like, oh, we've got St. Juste back, we're good now. It's like he could just explode at any minute, right?
Yeah.
It's not like we're set in any way, shape, or form.
Because then you go from having one of Kawats and St. Juste to
I mean they're
you're
both
playing Luis Neto
they're both
there.
ticking time bombs to be quite honest.
It didn't look like anything serious. It looked like it was more like he's just probably feeling.
It looked like it was scheduled. Like I'm sure St. Juste had some scheduled minutes for this game. Right?
Yeah, I feel like that's probably what it was, and it was more just.
And the sub came, and then their goal happened like almost right after.
Almost immediately.
I was like, oh, I don't know if that was like the most opportune sub time, especially if it was like a planned sub. But it is what it is. Decent cameo from Twinkle. I mean, are we concerned about Nuno Santos at all this season? I don't know if it was Roberto Martinez or Ruben Amorim that made a comment about him not playing a 90 the whole game.
It was Martinez.
Yeah, so I mean,
which is ridiculous because he calls up Totti Gomes and Felix.
He's just trying to justify not calling him. Which, to be fair, okay, this season, he probably doesn't deserve it. But last season, what's your excuse?
Last season, when you still had no left backs, like
he wasn't making excuses last season. He was just avoiding the topic.
He also said that he wanted his competition was Rafael Leão instead of like the left back.
Which is just crazy.
Which is
the left backs are always hurt.
Nuno Santos hasn't played as a left winger in about 2.5 years.
Yeah,
about 2 years.
And Jenny. Obviously, I think he's had games similar to this before. But like, I think that this outside back spot, like, I don't know, I kind of like him there.
He's starting to look a bit more comfortable.
I think he's like a reliable enough-ish defender. He's obviously gives him fits going forward. I think that he maybe needs to learn a little bit more how to throw himself to the ground in the box, Taremi style. You should be watching Taremi tape, Tony Martinez tape, to kind of, get in the because like he's cooking defenders in the box one-on-one, and they're dangling legs out so many times. I'm like, bro, Edwards kind of does it decently. He's fished a couple pens for us. It's the Portuguese league, it doesn't take much, so you just gotta figure out, how to manipulate the contact and what it looks like on replay when they slow it down. That's really all I've got. We've got Benfica coming up shortly, so it would be nice to not fuck up the trap game with the Estrela de Amadora at home.
Ideally, they fuck up the trap game.
Yeah,
who's
there? They're going to
Chaves,
which is a trap game for them.
That is a trap game. Yeah. Chaves can be very tricky at times.
And they are playing a little bit better. They were horrible at the beginning of the season. They have 7 points.
They've improved now.
Estrela is. I've been impressed with Estrela this season.
They look good.
I thought that they look good.
Fun.
I think that they've been unlucky to not get points in a lot of the games that they've lost. So I think that they could be, even slightly higher.
We have already won at the Estadios Gomes once this season.
It's true.
In the Taça, so things bode well.
And that's really all I got on Boavista.
How about you, Danny? What do you?
Let me on the
talk to him
on the plot thing, like with everybody. I'm with you guys. He had a pretty poor game. I do see why he's kind of undroppable, because this game gets the goal. The previous game gets the assist on the Quach header. As shit as he's been, at the very least, he's still somewhat putting up numbers, right? So I get it. I get it.
His sexy stats are still looking okay, right? That's what.
Hey, man. And at the end of the day, whether it's sexy or unsexy, if you're getting up on the stat board, it means you're doing something right.
Yeah.
In my eyes, at least. If you're getting a goal or an assist, you're either in the right area at the right time, or you're doing something right at the right time to provide a goal, right? And more so on that, who do we drop in this case? Because Trincão looked good, but I also seen Trincão fuck up a 4-on-3 by shooting it against the defender instead of passing it also.
Yeah.
Right? I'm also not as confident as I was earlier on in the season with having a front three of Gyökeres, Paulinho, and then maybe Edwards. Who knows? Because I also seen Edwards fuck up a 1-on-1 on goal, right? My problem with this game and with the last game as well in Poland, and I've seen it throughout the season, and we've seen it especially last year, is and okay, this game we put up 2 goals. That's pretty good. But I feel like it's still the same thing where we're having like 7-8 chances and maybe scoring 1 or 2 goals. Yeah. Like this game, for example, Jenny had that shot outside the box. Okay, it goes wide. Pot hits the post. Edwards is through on goal.
Morita had a chance.
Morita had a chance.
If he wasn't drunk, according to my grandfather, he could have scored.
Exactly. Trincão had a chance. I mean, there's a lot of chances to be had, and there's not enough killers in our team still. Maybe Gyökeres is that killer, he might be the only one we have. But then he's allowed to have these games too, and I think he's just been covered a lot better, especially a team like Boavista, a team managed by Petit. They're going to be solid defensively, right? So with the Pot thing, I get it. He played like shit. Still won man of the match, which was kind of a shock. I'm surprised they didn't give it to Jenny, but I guess because Jenny didn't finish the game. But at least he's producing at the end of the day, and I think that's all you can ask for. When he starts putting in a performance and getting on the score sheet, like even better, right? Hopefully that'll come soon. And yeah, man, it's been nice to see Jenny develop. I think he's getting better game in, game out, right? Like everybody's been mentioning. I think he's only improving. His defending wise, he's shit, but I think we don't have him there to defend. We have him there to be as a sort of a second winger while Edwards cuts in, right? So
that's why you play 3 center backs, is to cover up.
Exactly. And that's why you have Diomande behind them as well. Diomande's been solid for his development as well, right? Though he had his moments this game, which shows an experience, but he also had his moments which shows like we're gonna get 60 million for this kid at least, right? Surely, Ferenda, surely.
I think he's got 80 million release clause, so.
Is it 80? Yeah, but we never hit. When
we hit the release clause
like
twice.
I think the hype is so big for Diomande that I think we could crack it because everyone knows about Diomande.
We could. You know what it is? It depends on how much Antonio Silva gets sold because he's the real hype kid.
He's gonna set the pace for everybody else, I think.
He's also top 5 in the Golden Boy list or some shit like that, right?
Yeah,
he got like top 10.
How much did Ruben Diaz go for? Like 80?
I think it was like 50
yeah,
plus Otamendi the other way. But it was like one of them where apparently Benfica still had to offer money, like the Gelson and the Vieta deal.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'm curious. Yeah, I imagine whoever goes first out of whether it be Antonio Silva or Inacio or Diomande, that's going to kind of set the pace, because you can look at, okay, if Antonio Silva's going for, or if say Diomande goes for 60 million, just say he goes first, just in a wild coincidence.
Yeah.
Benfica can say, well, our guy was top 5 Golden Boy. We should be getting at least another 10, 15, 20, whatever million, right?
Yeah.
So whichever guy goes first is going to kind of set roughly what the market is for the other 2 or 3.
Yeah. That's even. I wasn't even taking in. We also have Inacio there too, right? And Inacio's been a little more quiet, but out of the 2 being sold, I'm thinking at least Diomande is more likely to be sold first. Mainly to do because he's not a Portuguese. Like he doesn't fill in the homegrown talent, et cetera.
He's also younger too, so teams might be willing to take more of a chance on him.
Yeah, but because Inacio's older, maybe he's the first one to leave, right? Like an Arsenal, a Liverpool, they wanted a more mature player.
I also think that Diomande, he has like when he was still at Midtjylland, he was scouted by all these Premier League teams and linked to a lot of them. Inacio has only gotten onto the radar in the last year or 2, right?
Yeah.
But I think Diomande has been on the radar for maybe 4 years,
Yeah, fair. And then I just want to also just hit the nail on the head on the 1 point of Hjulman. Like his pressing this game was unreal. There was like 2 times where he won the ball on like the opponent's half, like just damn near the box. That almost led to a goal as well.
Also, sorry to interrupt. Needs to be said. I always loved Marcus Rojo for his he's taken 150-yard shot a game.
Yep.
Homeland is good for two
of them. He's
First
going
time
for it.
outside the 18. He doesn't shoot him from
ready
like
to go.
40, but he shoots him from like 22.
Yeah.
And it's not one. He's averaging like 1.7 a game, bro.
Yeah,
it's over
he's doing a minimum. One is like the
and
minimum.
one he just like it was like a half volley. It was like an impossible shot, and it was just shanked so bad, but it was.
But I love the
missed it. Like,
bro,
and he's scored a couple from outside the box. Like
exactly.
He's got the banger in him.
Human's like that. He's like me, which is that annoying cam in pro clubs, which is like you're on a rush. It's like, all right, pass. He's like, fuck it, boys, I'm shooting. Then you shoot, like, oh shit, my bad, boys. He's that guy. He's like, I maxed my shot stats up in pro clubs. I'm taking the shot from 35 out and hoping.
Yeah, bro, and low key when everybody was saying like we're getting another Palinga, they're low key right because Palinga also did that, just not as often.
Yeah,
he's been doing it for Fulham lately.
He's been doing it for Fulham. Exactly. He was unlucky at Sporting, bro. We were saying for like a year and a half of bangers incoming, and it kept on getting skied. So we're hitting the post.
I think he managed to get one. I remember because I think
he did hit one, but he's already had like 4 for Fulham in like half the time. You know.
Yeah. But yeah, I've been in love with at least this game. Human. The last game in Poland, not so much, but this game. I thought Human was excellent, to be quite honest with you. And yeah, 5.9 is kind of. I think that's only because of the yellow, because he should be like high 6s at least, even by goal point. But yeah, man, that's pretty much it for me, man. I have nothing else really to say that nobody else has said.
Speaking of Poland, we get to the Polish game now, I assume.
We have to man of the match first.
Oh yeah, we got man of the match. Who's your man of the match, Sam?
Jenny. It's got to be.
You took mine. I'm going Jenny
with my meme to stunt on these hoes.
Facts. Oh, I forgot to say.
I'm going Jenny as well.
Only other thing I forgot to say. I think Mateusz Reis either watches this podcast or has been following Sam on his burner account because he finally completed a cross. Whether he meant to do it or not, to Jenny, I'm not sure, because I actually have a feeling he thought he overhit that. You're on mute, Chris.
Maybe.
It was for someone at the near post. He just overhit it.
Yeah, exactly.
He overhit it, but it worked out.
Could be a thing, but
it worked
definitely worked out. He's following along. So Mateusz, give us a call, buddy.
My guy. That's my guy.
What was funny about that? So that goal that we scored,
I love
my IPTV just cut out. So like I
thought you said you didn't have that.
Sorry, my friend said his IPTV cut out. Literally just before the cross. So I was like, oh, Mateusz Reis cross. And then obviously I checked my phone while I'm waiting. It's like goal notification. Who scored it? Jenny. I was like, oh, no way you got an assist. And it showed Mateusz Reis' assist. I was like, oh my God, like crazy.
What a world.
Yeah. So you said Jenny as well. Danny, who is your man match?
Jenny as well.
I don't know, man. I think I want to go with Jenny as well. But I kind of want to I want to be different and go with Hulman.
You're able to go with Pot. You won't.
I could go different and go Pot exactly, but I won't because I agree he did play like shit. But I feel like I'm his biggest supporter at this time.
Off Adan with a clean sheet.
Adan with the clean sheet, though that offside goal, I do agree it's correct. I think it's just the foot that's in front, but
it's definitely not.
It didn't. I don't think. I think it's
corrupt,
less than 20. I do think it's less than 27 centimeters.
Yeah, we'll see.
Because if that's 27 centimeters, that's not boding well for some of us. If that's how short 27 centimeters is, I'm just saying.
I don't know what you're talking about, baby. Let me just.
I'm just not naming names.
I'm gonna give it to Jenny as well.
Fair.
I thought he had a solid game.
Okay, fair enough. Chris, who's your man of the match?
I watched the GM comp of Humlin versus Boavista like 5 times yesterday.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have to go with Humlin. I sent it to like my couple friends on my soccer team, and I was like, "This is what I'm trying to play like. Like this is what I'm modeling my game after right now. Like watch this like 1 minute 40-second comp, and it's perfect."
You're gonna get like his headband as well.
Me,
I know. I usually wear like the ninja hairband. I used to wear like the slim headband. So maybe I'll have to go back to it.
And
also, I wear number 28 because of Pot. But bro's not
What?
even 28 anymore. So maybe next
Yo.
season I'll have to change
Which
to
day?
42.
Well, who knows? Team
Mm,
messaged me at like 10 o'clock or 10 o'clock my time. Like, you want to retweet this real quick? I'm like, bro, like, go to bed. It's 4
Yeah.
It's 4 a.m. Go to sleep. Like, I'm about to go to bed.
I think on the pot thing also, I think you bring up a good point, Chris. I think once you lose 28, because some legendary players have had 28 in this club,
Yeah,
and for you to drop 28, that's why you're playing like shit.
yeah.
But I'm
Yeah.
also
I mean, even though it
looking.
started like
He
that.
I'm
thought
looking up
because
right
he
now.
must have thought because he was going to 8, like he wouldn't lose.
And
his
I don't
calories.
think Humlin's ever going to change
Yeah.
for it. Like 42 seems to be
Nah,
his number.
that's-
That's what he
his
wore at
number.
Lecce.
That's his
Like
number.
Yeah.
he's not waiting for something else to become available.
I am looking up and I see a Bruno Fernandes number 8. So like, it can't be too bad of a number.
Mateus
But,
Nunes as well.
No.
There's a few.
Number 8's not the problem. It's changing.
Oh, just
from
switching.
28.
Changing.
Yeah.
And he thought
Speaking-
because both have great power that he would just like nothing would happen.
Speaking of 28, shout out Bastost. Hope
Shout
he's
out to
doing
Bas
well.
Dost. That was very scary over the weekend. He seems to be doing okay.
Sporting fans chanting his name in minute 28 as well.
That was really nice, and they mentioned it on the broadcast as well. Whoever was on the Sport TV feed, they said the Sporting fans were doing the Bas Dost chant that we used to do when he would score.
Also,
so.
it's kind of lost upon the news, but in that game he had a goal and an assist, and they're winning 2-1.
Yeah, he was having
Like,
himself. a
bro
game
was cooking before his incident.
in the Netherlands. So scary moment, but thankfully he's okay, and it wasn't something worse that what could have. It wasn't what it could have been, considering we've seen some horrific moments like that in soccer and football.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're playing AZ Alkmaar. I mean, that's a good.
They're playing a good
freaking
team. Yeah,
yeah.
It was a good.
I
That
had
was
them.
a good game. Like
I had them on my parlay.
So
But
what?
I
Is,
had,
is it just voided then? What? Because the game was abandoned.
No.
Right?
It lost. I lost it
Oh,
to
it
somebody
lost it
else.
without
I think who drew? Somebody drew. I can't remember.
Benfica drew.
Benfica tied.
Yes,
yeah.
that's who it was. It was Benfica, but it was another team too. It was like I think Rennes. Rennes also drew against Strasbourg or something like that.
I was gonna say, did you have the Marseille Lyon game that just didn't happen?
I decided to no. I mean, I knew to stay away from that shit. I mean, Lyon is
you
garbage.
had a
but-
feeling something was gonna go.
Yeah.
Danny sources were
Marseille's
saying,
not
"Look,
to
some
be
shit's gonna
trusted,
go
brother.
down."
Yeah,
Danny
exactly.
source especially be like, "Hey, listen, Marseille Lyon, stay away." Well, what do you mean? Just
Yeah.
shit's gonna go down, dog.
Yeah, brother. If Georges Mendes was French, Marseille wouldn't have a club right now. Everybody
No.
would be rescinding their
died.
contract for years. Nobody would. People would refuse to go to work.
Yeah,
I know they would have lost so many players.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the French love to protest. I don't understand why they're not protesting against Marseille already. Like, it's a national sport in France. So.
Don't know.
Yeah. Well, hopefully we'll see some contract rescinds on the cards. Since it
Yeah.
happens in another part of the Europe, but doesn't seem to happen anywhere else. Anyway,
Doubt it.
on to the next game against Racal. It was a Europa League tie, and the team was Israel for his first start in the Europa League in general. Inacio Coates, Diamonde, Esgaio, Mateus Reis, Morita, Hulmand, Edwards, Pedro Gonçalves, and Jokres, who unfortunately only lasted genuinely 5 minutes. Paulinho.
Happens to the best of us.
The best
King.
of us. We both at the same time. God damn it. Happens
5
to
minutes.
us all.
Last 5 minutes and then get forcely removed.
You know what I mean?
You know what I'm
Sometimes
saying?
it doesn't take 5 minutes, baby. You know
Yeah, I was
what
gonna say it doubled my time, man.
I mean? Quadrupled mine.
But yeah, Paulinho came off the bench. So did Jenny, Nuno Santos, and Bragança. Chris, start off with you. What were your overall thoughts on this game?
Well, obviously, the game was gonna be pretty conditioned. Basically from the start. I wasn't really sure how we were going to react. But overall, I would say the first half was actually pretty positive. Playing with 10 men, I thought that we created the better chances. We obviously got the goal off a set piece. I don't even necessarily know if we deserved to score. We probably deserved to score more than them, but I think 0-0 may have been probably closer to fair. But I I knew once the ball was headed in the 13th minute that one goal probably wasn't going to be enough to win this game, especially with 10 men. Like, I was like, are we really going to just park the bus now for 75 minutes with 10 men? Like, they'll eventually score, I think. But we really didn't do that until the second half. The first half, we went to half, and I was like, you know what, this is actually pretty positive. If we play that positively again, we may even be able to score a second and be able to see our way out of here. But I don't really know what happened in the second half. It was the strategy, if the legs just got gassed. But it was not nearly as good. And to be fair, like, they really didn't get incredibly dangerous until like the last 15 minutes or so. And that they kind of camped out in our half, and I was actually very concerned that we were going to lose the game. I was actually shocked that we didn't lose the game. The ball was in the net a second time. I guess there's shouts for offside on the first goal, which we can discuss. Obviously, there's shouts for offside, and he was ruled out on the second one. But yeah, the goal was kind of getting threatened. They had a few close calls that they didn't take advantage of. And in the end, we got out of here with a 1-1 draw. It's not the worst thing in the world. I think that we may hopefully not come to regret the points dropped here, because obviously it's on the road. But, you know, I don't think this is a team that is going to advance out of the group. I think they're a bit weaker. I think they're a bit weaker this season versus last season. So they're not doing as good in the Polish league either. It's tough, you know, because you are playing with 10 men, and you like to think in a normal scenario here with 11 men the whole game, then we would have maybe had. We definitely would have had a better chance to win the game. I think we probably would have won the game. Definitely need to beat them when they come to Alvalade.
Yeah, you know, you have an obligation to do that.
We're
now.
still in reasonable position in the group because Atalanta and Sturm Graz kind of got a surprising draw, which is decent for us. Sturm's not out of it by any stretch. Neither is Rakow, to be fair.
But we're tied with Sturm on points.
Yeah, Sturm's
now.
definitely not out of it. We both have 4 points. So yeah, there's still everything to play for here. It's a bit disappointing, but given how things played out, I mean, I'm not that upset about it, you know, because I understand that it could have easily been a 2-1 loss, you know.
They played a man down for like 95% of this game.
Yeah.
Like, if you had told me they were going to play a man down for 95% and escape with a draw, I would have been like, you know
and
what?
it is a tough decision. I understand.
Yeah,
I understand
it.
why the decision was made, but even so, it is tough. It is tough to swallow, and it is a tough decision. We've been saying that the refs in Portugal are trying to manufacture a red card against Gyökeres. I can't believe that it was in Europe that
UEFA beat them to it.
That beat them to it. Yeah, I cannot believe a foreign ref was the first to eject him. Would have lost money on that bet.
Yeah,
but it does suck certainly now that he's going to be suspended for the next game.
What is our next game in Europa?
It's probably going to be them. Yeah.
So not bad. I mean, if you're gonna lose them for a game, at least it's this one.
You're losing, yeah. It's not like you're losing them for the home leg against or the away game against Atalanta.
Yeah, that's true.
That's fair.
We got Paul. We got Paul. Paul can cook.
Yeah,
Paul's UEFA man, baby.
Yeah. The thing about this offside, right, and I've still not seen any other angle of it, and that's what gets me. But for me, it looks like his shoulder is over the line and his head is also over this line.
Yeah.
And like that's what I don't understand. And obviously I know the ball
it's like you're telling me his foot is in front of his shoulder there. I don't see how that's possible.
Yeah.
No.
I actually think they got this one wrong. They just don't want to admit it.
Yeah.
And 100%. It's because it's such it's Europa League, and it's also a smaller game compared to like the Liverpool and whoever else is in Europa.
Yeah.
They're able to just like slide this one under the rug.
And no one will really put up a stink about it.
Yeah, but I mean, if the Boavista one was 27 centimeters offside, this kind of looks a little more. But But anyways, it's tough to also say because the camera is behind the
We're
angle.
we're only getting one
Like we
angle,
mentioned
like
a
Sam
million
said.
times.
They probably have
Yeah.
additional angles that we're not privy to, right? So who the hell knows?
And also,
But if-
so many fucking people stole this image off me, and like it took me.
And no
Well,
one
why-
credited you either.
No. What annoyed me about it is because me and my brother and my dad were watching, and we were rewinding because we were like, we saw it in real time, and obviously we watched the end of the game. But like, we were rewinding so much, we probably were there for like 15 minutes trying to find the other side. Then we found it. I tweeted it out, and like literally, probably like 2 minutes later, I saw two
Exactly.
pictures.
I love it
exactly
when
the
you can
same.
tell when someone steals your screen grab because it's like the exact same one.
It's
The
literally
exact same lines on the
Yeah,
TV
it's like the
and
same
stuff.
angle of the. It's so
Yeah.
obvious that it's
Just
just
give
that.
credit, just quote,
Or just
tweet, do
retweet it. I
something,
always
retweet,
just retweet.
whatever.
I will never steal your content. I will.
I
Just
will
retweet
I
it.
will quote tweet or just outright retweet before I just fucking steal your shit.
I'm not gonna just start reposting GM's comms. I'm just gonna retweet them. Like, what the fuck?
No, I might repost them.
He stole my Jenny meme, so I might have to get him.
Yeah,
Just
you
one
know,
time- one
yeah,
time.
Yes, and
okay.
I actually think I might have seen GM post that, and I thought that he made it. To be fair,
No,
I
he
literally
didn't.
put it.
Yeah.
I put it in the
He
group chat that we were in, and then literally a second after I posted it in the group chat, I saw the tweet was from him. I was like, no.
This guy can't complain anymore, bro.
Yeah, that's what I said.
He can't complain anymore.
Fucking Ekans over here.
no rules, no rules.
He quote tweeted. He
It's
said,
a dirty game.
game's the
Meme
game."
is a
The
dirty
game, the game do
It's
be
the
the game.
game.
But still.
I respect it.
But I'll quickly go next. Gyökeres' red card, I don't think was red card. I think in the 5th minute of the game, you have to have some leniency, and it was just an accident. They were both running at full speed.
Yeah.
The guy accidentally
To be-
steps on him.
the guy's out for like a month. I read, so he got him
Oh,
good.
is he?
He definitely got him
Oh,
good.
Wow.
I think it's a red. Only I know it's unintentional. I hear it.
It's still a red, I think. Yeah.
If it's not given a red, I'm cool with that. But even if it's against us, I think I'm okay with the decision because, like you said, it's unintentional. But if this is again, like if this was
There's
them
also a
and they get a
difference
red, I'm
between-
cool with that.
There's a difference when you're going into a challenge and you're leaving your stud. Like he's just kind of
Yeah.
like
He's
chasing
running.
behind
He's
him,
Yeah.
chasing him.
and he kind of
Yeah.
steps on him by accident
Mhm.
more than anything.
Yeah.
Like
So
I don't even think he's going for the ball. I think he's just trying to
No.
like pressure him and accidentally
Yeah.
steps on his
Yeah.
ankle.
And I
Even
think
though what he
It's
says,
harsh.
like there's no intent there. Like he was not trying to like hurt his fellow professional, right?
Yeah,
It's just shitty thing that happened.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But he gets them. Like at the end of the day, he gets
Yeah.
them. That's why I'm like, okay, maybe I hear it. I guess.
But for me as well, I mentioned it earlier, but Franco Israel, man, some of the stuff he was doing, like
Yeah.
it looked like he went ahead of the ball at one point.
The cross
Like,
where he just gets nothing but air.
He just
yeah,
whiffs
like
on that
arms down
ball.
by his side, and like just like, I don't know. There's a few.
They
other
should have
times as
scored
well.
on that, by the way. We've been very fortunate. Every time
Mhm.
our keeper had just flaps at a cross and just misses it, the other team has not.
How we haven't been scored on more like that this season in general is beyond
It's
me.
coming. It's coming. Don't
I'm
worry.
I'm sort of wondering what has Uruguay seen for them to be calling up this guy with 0 minutes.
Apparently,
Well,
they said
now
he was good
90
with his
minutes.
feet, but I saw in this game he was like he was
Nah,
okay. Don't get me wrong.
He's
He
a
looked
Don.
fine
He's
with his
basically a Don
feet,
with his
but-
feet. There's nothing that crazy. I'm
Yeah.
expecting him to be.
I've
like
just
Onana
never
or
really seen
something.
anything from him that has impressed me.
Yeah. No.
No.
But I think at the same time,
and
he
he's
plays,
left
like,
me
once every 4
dumbfounded
months.
more. Like
Yeah.
I feel like he
Yeah,
just needs
but-
to get a bit more game time. But then it's just like, are you dropping a Dan? Well, I would say yes, but I
It's like
understand
what
why
teams are
he
you putting
doesn't.
him in, right? Like that's
But-
the thing.
was Adan dropped for this game, or was this
He was
always
on the
plan?
bench.
He was on the
still.
bench.
No, but I'm
He's on the
saying like,
bench.
was this always the plan, or
Yeah,
I don't
there was
know.
there was
I
no
assume
injury
so.
or anything.
I
So-
assume so.
I assume it was just like fuck it, we're gonna
because
throw
he
his
didn't
trail
play
in.
against Atalanta, he didn't play against.
I think
Spurs.
it's just they don't. I mean, this is obviously the weaker opposition, right? So
Yeah.
I figured like
Is he gonna play at home
It-
against?
yeah,
might.
that's what I want to see.
Might.
If they play at home, then maybe.
Well, we play
maybe
play
he's gone.
Florence on Thursday in the Testa Liga, so I'd assume he's.
Oh,
gonna
let's
be
go!
there.
Toss.
Tasa
better
Liga
be
starts up.
He
Here
better
we
be getting
go.
minutes.
So I assume it's
that's on
Israel's gonna be
Thursday,
against them.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Thursday at 8 p.m. my time. Yeah. Other than that, Diamonde I thought had a weak game, and the goal point rating refers to that as well. Mateus Reis, man, how many
He was
crosses are you
bad
gonna
this
fuck up?
game.
I know obviously he did it the game after, but like cross out like so far over everyone, or it like doesn't beat the
Out
first man. There's
about.
just no in between. It's just man, he's so frustrated. And I still think we could have scored so many this game. It 1-1, like I know it's only a 0.
If Pot gets that chip higher in the first, like the keeper is like 30 yards out of the goal. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah. And he's his left foot, but it's just like, come on, man. Like, just you can
A little
you
more
can do that. You've done it
sauce
from
on
the
it.
halfway line, so there's no excuse.
Mhm.
Edwards, I thought maybe like again, I was impressed in the first half, but when
Faded.
so
Same with the last in the Boavista game as well. We
Yeah,
didn't really
he
talk
started
about
off strong
Edwards.
and kind of just tapered off a bit.
Yeah.
Mhm.
but I did feel bad for Pedro Gonzalez and Edwards because obviously they were sort of without their striker, they had to do most of the hold up play, and obviously they're both quite small people, so
They were
you
going to
know.
get bullied.
Yeah, and I like I said at the time, I think I said in the group chat, I was like, I don't blame Pop, even though I didn't really like him in this game. I don't blame him for having a poor game because of that fact. Because he's not an out-and-out striker, nor is Edwards. So it was them playing with a man down, and it really did show. Even with Paulinho coming in, it was still like, yeah, but there's still a guy having to cover, and I did feel bad for those two. I did not feel bad for any of the wing backs. Mateus Reis and Esgar, I thought were just so bad. Both of them. More Mateus Reis for me, but I thought Esgar, man, was just so many times he was just asleep. And part of me does sort of blame Ruben Amorim for his tactics because he just felt like we sat back as soon as like the 70th minute came. It was like, okay, we're just going to sit back and then let all the pressure go onto us. I know with a man down, it's difficult to do anything, but it just felt like there was no sort of any chance of us going on the attack or anything. It just felt like
It didn't even feel like there was a chance for us to even get like a counter attack going.
No, he
and,
just
like,
it was
couldn't
just
play
like-
out. It was just like
there was one at
way.
the end
All
where
out
Jenny
against Salah, like,
Jenny
that's what it
managed to
was.
get to like the edge of the box, but then it went out for a goal kick. But it was just
Yeah.
like, man, I think everyone was poor this game, and I do blame the red card. I will say, shout out to Quares, man. He was very
He's
good
a
in
monster
this game.
Facts.
The header, of course, great cross for Pedro Gonzalez as well. But I thought just in general, Quares was in games like this, you need a leader, and I think it really did prove that he was one of them because he was giving everyone instructions, and he was just being a leader, I suppose. And again, Hjulmand had a decent game, but like I said, with a man down, we're not going to be lighting the world on fire. And again, feel the same for Paulinho and Jenny when they come on. It's not really Paulinho didn't really have a lot of service. I didn't think didn't really have time to do much, but yeah. I wonder who that's from.
Yeah, same.
Can't imagine.
But yeah, that's it for me this game. Richard, what were your thoughts?
I honestly don't have much else to add. Like, I think it's all been pretty well said that the red card did not help anything. I thought you did make a good point that, yeah, Pot and Edwards didn't have great games, but they didn't have a striker to kind of lead on, right? So they're being tasked with the build-up play, but also the hold-up play. So it's going to be an issue. Mateus Reis was so fucking bad this game. He was frustrating. It was every cross was either miles over or out of bounds over the net. Like, it was just awful. Morita didn't stand out to me. I thought Hjulmand looked okay. Yeah, Isgaio didn't look great. Israel looked weird as well. Like, nothing bad, but like nothing really good. He does make like one good like initial save, but like that's it, and then they score. Yeah, nothing special. I thought Jenny, when he came on, like, he provided some energy, but again, you're a man down. There's only so much one man can do. Same with Paulinho. But again, Nuno Sancho didn't get enough time to really show anything. I will say every defender on their goal and on the offside goal that got called back just caught napping. Like, unacceptable behavior from all of them. I hope they got a vicious tongue lashing after the game for that specifically. I hope when they go back and review the game tape, they get chewed out for that, because that was unacceptable fucking marking against Don Queen. My brother in Christ, did you watch that game? Gee,
Yo,
you watch that game.
We need to stop promoting GM until he starts paying us, boys.
Gee,
I don't know
yeah,
about
we're gonna need some. You need to
share us this Twitter payments with all these comps, brother. If you want to start.
What made me laugh that he was so nervous going to this game as well. He was like, I can't stop shaking, like my heart rate's pounding. I've been for like
That's
5
like, bro, it's
nervous shits.
This game?
Boavista, sorry, not this one.
Oh,
Boavista.
okay.
Boavista,
Yeah, no, that's fair.
I was
Yeah,
like, in my head, I'm like, it's Boavista away. Like, relax.
No, but Boavista away is a tough game, and then
it's not. It's
I hear
still
you,
early
bro.
in
Yeah,
the season.
I think we can conclude that he did not watch the game.
You did not watch this game. You absolutely did not watch this game. I'm sorry. Dan literally was shaking that whole game.
Yeah, man.
Back to this game. Yeah, no, Kawach was massive. Probably his best game of the season, I would say. The goal was huge. I thought he was good defensively outside of him and the entire defense being caught out. There's not much else. I do think it's a red card on Jokeres as well. It's. I don't think it's intentional at all. Obviously, it's. You kind of have to give a red card there, whether it's intentional or not, because it is a dangerous play. But I get the argument of people saying it shouldn't be.
You
And
don't
like,
have to.
you don't. Okay, you don't have to, but
As soon as he went to VAR, it was like, yeah,
it's over.
Yeah.
You do.
Yeah.
I saw him go to the monitor. I'm like, oh, it's Jover.
No, it's when you see
Done.
that, like he points to his ear, like, oh, for
You're
fuck's
like,
sake,
oh,
man.
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, when they do this, like it's Jover, ladies and gentlemen. You already know. Yeah, there's not much else to add to this game that hasn't already been said. It's a 1-1 draw, puts us at 4 points with Sturm, 3 points behind Atlanta. Right now, the worst case scenario is we drop down to the Mighty Conference League, which,
Well,
I've said
worst case scenario, we don't make it past.
Worst case scenario, we don't make it out of anything. But right
Yeah.
now, it's as it stands, we would drop down to Conference League, which isn't the worst.
We're not in second. We beat. We beat.
We might be
Strompcast.
ahead of them. Yeah, my
Yeah.
mistake. So right now we'd be either going to a play. We'd be going to the
maybe a
playoff
playoff.
against the Champions League losers.
But did they beat Raquel and then draw to Atlanta, or did Atlanta beat them?
They drew Atlanta.
So they'll be second, right? Because we only won one, lost one.
But
Oh
we-
no, we'd be on level.
but we
one.
beat
You
them.
know what?
though, I
We're
think.
going to let you know right now. How about
I don't
I'm
know if
pretty
it's
sure we're
based on
still in
goal
second.
difference in Europa League though. So it depends how much they won by against Raquel.
It's
So I'm just going to let
head-to-head.
you know right now what Google's telling me on the Europa League.
I
Okay,
think
right
I've seen
now
us
we're in.
second.
We sit in second.
Yeah.
We sit in second. We're tied on points. We're tied on points, tied on goals, but we would have the head-to-head advantage as the next tiebreaker.
Good.
Because I think it does go goal. I think it does go goals and not head-to-head, which to me it should always be head-to-head then goals, but whatever. So yeah, right now we're sitting in second, which would put us into the playoff against the Champions League dropouts, and third would drop us down to Conference League, which is the last year. This is the last year that you can have the people drop down from UEFA Champions League to Europa League and Conference League, Europa League to Conference League. So, who the hell knows? Maybe Ruben Amorim's Galaxy braiding this so he can win the Conference League and he can say, I won a European trophy with Sporting. Who knows?
Yeah.
I'll take Conference League.
West Ham fans don't shut the fuck up about Conference League.
Bro,
so
Conference League's lit. I don't give a shit. I love Conference League. I'll take
I
Conference
love
League.
Conference League too.
I'll
bro.
take
I love
it. I don't
Conference
care.
League. I love Europa though.
I love Europa
Either
more, but I love Conference
Either
League quite a
one.
bit too.
I think it's embarrassing how the team that's been in the most Europa Leagues has still not won it.
Honestly, we have the most games, the most wins, like most everything. We
Wait,
haven't won it.
more than Sevilla? Are we sure it's more than Sevilla though?
Yeah,
We had the
more
most
severe.
games in the Europa League since like it was the Europa League / UEFA Cup.
We're doing then.
We have the just stop putting his comments on screen, brother. Why?
Coats is the reason. Yeah, take this brother off, bro. I'm gonna cheese on
Ban
this
him from chat.
guy. He's cheesing me.
Against Marseille when he kicked it against Alexis Sanchez. Coates' fault.
Yeah, that was all Coach's fault.
But yeah,
yeah. So I'll take a conference. Yeah, we have the most games played in the Europa League of any club without having won it. That's between Europa League and UEFA Cup era.
I think in second is like Inter Milan, but I don't know if
They have a cup, but they've won it. They've won it a cup once or twice at least.
Yeah, fair enough.
Because they have the one with the
Fair.
Ballon d'Or year, R9. That was that one of his first Ballon d'Or.
Yeah,
Was the UEFA Cup.
fair enough.
Fun little trivia fact for you people at home.
Danny, what were your thoughts on this game?
I just want to mention one thing. The only thing that threw me off about this game. Sorry about my voice cracking there. I'm going through puberty. The only thing that threw me off on this game was because usually it's either Gaio and Nuno Santos or Mateus Reis and Jenny. Like I've noticed, it's on one side we're going to clearly attack, the other side is a bit more defensive, or we'll play like sort of a back.
Just to interrupt you, Danny, I don't know if you've seen the video that Sporting played. It literally.
It was bad. He didn't catch a single ball.
In the warm-ups, and he literally does not catch a single
He
one.
doesn't catch a single thing.
It's like
That
you're
was
not
so bad.
supposed to defend shots like
You're
that.
supposed to defend shots like this. Like
But I'm
big
starting to think
hands,
it's like
trying, like
it's like a
diamond.
coaching issue though, because like Israel in this game did the same thing on their offside on their offside
Who's our
goal.
goalie
Like,
coach? Is it still
he's
Nelson?
punching it?
No, it's that
the
guy
old dude.
Vital.
Vital, yeah, the one that
Oh.
limps.
Yeah.
Genuinely,
Oh, the one guy doing the
since he
lip.
didn't catch that ball against Porto against Eustáquio, I don't think he's ever tried to catch a ball since.
No, and like it's the first thing they teach you.
I
when
wish he
you're-
punched
when
that
you're a
fucking
goalie.
one. Like, come
Yeah.
on.
It's the first thing they teach you when you're a goalie. Big hands make the diamond. Like
Yeah,
It's-
bro.
it's-
How do you
it's the
want to
first
be a
thing they
wide
tell you.
receiver?
like
But yeah, no. That in terms of that's the only thing that threw me off was this tactic was already sort of like defend for your life sort of thing. It's as if
Yeah.
he was like already like expecting us to be down a man from the get go. But yeah, man, nothing that you guys haven't already said, bro. This game was a hard watch at the best of times, you know. But I still thought we might have still got the win. I still feel like their goal, offside or not, I forget who it was. I can't remember now if it's Morita and then even Inacio not tracking the runner afterwards. We sort of fell asleep on that goal. But hey, at least Atalanta also drew with Strompcast.
it keeps the group very wide open.
Yeah, and it's kind of no change there, right? I mean, we were level with them on 3 points anyway, so we're now level with them on 4. At least they didn't lose, you know, or at least Atlanta not winning also helps us too, because now they're not like 6 points ahead, right? They're still 3.
Yeah, it's a 1-game swing as opposed to a 2-game swing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I'll live with it. I'll live with the result. Away to Poland as well. Always tough. I hear the pitch was hard. Like it was like rainy or some shit like that. I mean, we mustn't forget it was raining. Shout out to Ty from
Ty.
AFTV. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, not the result we wanted, obviously, but
Probably the result we deserved.
yeah, 100%.
We're being
yeah,
honest.
100% the result.
I think
that second
up
half,
until the
especially, they were just
70th.
dominating in our half too. So
I think up until the
much you get.
60th minute, 65th minute, I was
We
like,
had a chance, though.
we could nick a win. I think once we started playing, kick the ball away, and inshallah, it was like you could feel their goal coming.
Yeah,
Like you could sense it coming as they were mounting on the pressure. I was like, we knew it was going to happen.
And I was feeling a second goal incoming too, so I'm glad at least we left it to a draw.
Yeah.
It goes back to my point that I mentioned earlier, and that I was mentioning all of last year. It's the efficiency in this team is still not there.
It's still lacking sometimes.
There's so many teams in Europe. I think of like a Brighton comes to mind, but maybe not necessarily Brighton, but Brighton against like the big teams. I don't necessarily see Brighton dominating off possession, except if it's Man United. But is Man United?
Well,
really
everybody does that against Man United.
Yeah, Man United is not a big team nowadays, and I'm a United fan. But like I think of a Brighton where in two opportunities, Zerbi will have that team scoring both goals. You know what I mean? Where even in Portugal, a Boavista for the most part, 2 opportunities, they're getting
chances.
at least one in, you know, a Roca, etc. Right? Whereas with Sporting, after 7-8 chances, we might have 2 goals. And
we'd be lucky to have 1 most days too, if we're being honest.
You know what I mean? So I think that's it still continues to be our biggest issue, because I think now we're better defensively than what we were last year, even with the same sort of personnel. And now with St. Just coming back, it does seem now that we have way more bodies than we need to. Although, you know, St. Just is also a shoulder injury away from being out for 5 months.
He's a hangnail away from being done for the season.
You know what I mean? So I think at least we look better defensively. It gives me a little more confidence for the rest of the season. He also keeps going on about the league being the main priority, and I agree. It is.
I get that.
We should look to win the league or at least get Champions League for next season rather than trying to push for Europa. But we're a big fucking club. Let's start acting like a big fucking club. It's just we're unlucky. I think we win this game with Gyökeres, no problem. But out in the 5th, I think we win this game even if we get a red on like the 50th minute or the 40th minute.
Because at that point, we might have already had a second goal with all our strikers on.
11v11, we're winning 100%.
Yeah, 100%. But the fact that we got it so early on, but mind you, my favorite part of this game, we got the red card at 5 minutes in. They only got in the 11th player on like the 15th minute. So we were playing 10v10 for like 10 minutes there.
Yeah.
And there's a player on the Polish squad who's like, bro, where's this fucking substitution? Let's go.
Like,
my
look,
favorite
we're
moment of
playing
this game.
10. We're playing 10v10. We're both
My
down.
favorite
man.
moment of the game.
Yeah.
But anyways, I digress. It is what it is. I'll take the result. At least it wasn't a loss.
Yeah. Yeah.
Definitely. Let's go on to the league predictions table first. So,
Are we doing
we've got-
toss of the Liga predictions with this as well this week now, or what?
uh,
I don't
Yeah,
mind
of course.
doing it. We might as
I
well.
don't
We've
really
done it for
care.
everything
It's
else.
you boys. Yeah.
yeah, might as well. Winter champions, why not?
Yeah.
But so
It's the
Europa
Let's
League,
do a
no-
separate table. Let's do a separate table for that to see
It's-
who's the champions.
Sure,
of the
okay.
It's the
winter.
Paulinho,
Champions
it's the
of the winter,
Paulinho
okay.
Cup, man.
that works for
I
me.
like that.
Yeah.
So Europa League, no one got anything because no one guessed the correct goal
Got
scorer, which was
anything in that
Coates,
game.
and obviously we
Yeah.
drew. Gary numbers
Yeah.
for Boavista. Chris, you have to give credit to him. 4 points, getting the correct
Sneaky
score
bad.
and the correct goal
Goal scorer.
scorer in pot. No one else getting the correct score or goal scorers.
But we got
So we get
the
1
result.
point. So that leads the table to Danny in first place with 23 points, Chris in second with 22, Richard in third with 21, and I am down in 17th. Sorry, in fourth with 17 points. But yes, I guess we'll do the predictions now for. I guess we'll create the new one for now. There we go. So, Florence. Don't know how you spell it, but we'll go for it. So,
You're good,
Danny,
you're good,
can I
you're good.
get your prediction for the league?
We're gonna pump them. We're gonna pump them 3-0.
Okay.
3-0. Goal scorers. Little Paulo. 100%.
Paulinho, this is when he's in his
100%
bag,
Little
yeah.
Paulo.
Ooh, little Paul.
Trincão.
I like it.
I'm thinking of an own goal.
Oh,
But
you're
I
doing
won't-
my prediction for
I won't be
last
that
week.
brazy, but I won't be that brazy.
Yeah.
I won't be that brazy. Jenny. Give me Jenny
Yeah.
again.
All right.
I think
Ooh.
he'll play. He'll start probably.
All right, Richard, what about you?
I'm going 4-0.
Mm.
I think Paulinho. I think Jenny. I don't think Trincão. I think. You know what? I'm gonna be bold. I'm gonna go Isgaio.
I like that.
Okay.
I love that. In fact.
And then I need to pick one more. I think Edwards.
Yo, why is GM hating all of a sudden, bro?
What's he saying now?
What we
GM, what'd you say fuck me for?
There he steps on a plug. Why do you say fuck? What I do to
What the
you?
fuck? What's wrong with this
Ah.
guy?
But for me, I will go. I'm going to go 3-1 because no matter who's in goal, I feel like we're going to concede.
We're
one.
good
Yeah,
for
that's a good
conceding
point.
one.
I think you're onto something.
What's
there.
the format for Toss the Liga, by the way, this year? Is it still like straight
The
knockouts?
groups. It's
Groups again?
The group, yeah. So we've
Yeah.
got Florence and I can't remember who the other team is, but yeah, it's a 3-team group.
Oh, it's back to the old format.
Yeah.
They need to honestly just get rid of this and focus on the Tossa. I don't like this.
How dare you get rid of the Sporting
Yeah,
Cup?
what's wrong with you, brother?
Get rid of the
one
Tassa. We
cup
don't win
we
that
ever
one.
won.
What the fuck?
But for my prediction, 3-1, I'm going to go Paulinho ×2. And I'm also,
Ooh,
in similar vein to Richard, I'm going to go with Fresneda to get the goal.
interesting. That's a good.
He's
that's a
injured
good-
though, no?
Yeah, but he's hurt.
I'm not going Fresneda.
we shouldn't have. Said, we shouldn't have.
Why
said
did we give him the information,
Why did we
Rich?
do that? Why did we?
We're too
we-
nice
Speaking
as
of her,
Canadians,
it's the
bro.
Canadian-
We're
we're
nice
too
Canadians
honest.
here.
We're too
Saint
nice
Just
for our
to score
good.
from a corner or something.
I like
That's what
that.
I'll go
I
for.
like that. I like that. Okay.
And for the game against Estrella, Danny, I'll start with you again. Who do you think is going to score and what is the score going to be? On a Sunday,
Estrella. I might change this eventually, though.
Yeah.
For
I'll stick
Estrella,
with mine, but
And I could say, like, if your goal scorer, like your goal scorer prediction doesn't start on Thursday, just change it before the game starts. And I'll be watching, so no cheating. Richard, no, I'm joking.
Yeah.
I was the one who cheated last week.
I'm joking.
I had my shit in
I'll
on
go
time.
I'll go with a 2-1 win.
Okay.
Okay.
2-1 dub. I don't want to go with a brace because I mean I'm already doing a little. I'm going with a brace. Give me Thick Vic for a brace.
Fuck, I was gonna say that.
And our group is Farense, Sporting, and Tondela. Farense already with a win. 1-0 to
Over
Tondela. If we
Tondela.
lose tomorrow, very unlikely we go through.
It's a tough group, actually. Obviously not
group,
crazy, but
actually,
I don't think. Yeah.
Tondela is like mid-table though right now, right in the second division.
Yeah.
But for this is tough. I mean, Tondela. I hate Tondela. I don't want to ever see them again. I wanted them to get relegated permanently.
Yeah.
And, but it is.
Is my go now, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go 2-0. But I think Danny said what I was gonna say. I think Jokeris brace. Actually, you know what? No, I'm not gonna do Jokeris. I'm gonna do Jokeris times 1. And I think we're gonna have a repeat. We're gonna have Pot get another one. And now neither of them are gonna score, and I'm gonna be fucked. But I said
at least hopefully one of them scores for you, bro.
if one of them scores for me, that'll be huge.
But I'm saying the one being Jokeres. You know what I mean?
Yeah, both of them scores gonna be massive.
I'm gonna go 3-1 again. I think
Nice.
Interesting.
because we always concede, and I'm gonna go. How the fuck was his name?
Hjulmand, yeah.
I think that's right.
Hjulmand.
Banger.
Hjulmand.
Jokeris.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Own goal.
who else? You know what? I back Edwards. I'll go with Edwards.
I like that. I like that.
I think he's going to score in one of the next 2
That's
games.
pretty much what I went with last time. Is for Jokeris.
Yeah.
If at first you don't succeed, try again.
Exactly.
Never back down. Never what?
Never
Never back down. Never what?
Just run through a fucking wall.
We have fantasy predictions next. Chris had to drop out, so he's not here with us now. But
God, we are doing so bad.
let me actually just quickly say, since we're on fantasy,
yeah,
and I've always given you guys a fantasy football update.
how you doing?
On my big boy league, so I'm in 3 leagues, technically 4, because I'm joining with my other.
This man's dedicated.
I have 3 leagues. The one league that I really care about the most, it's like a $350 buy-in. Nice little pot at the end. I have gotten the worst
$2
fucking.
Sorry, I
Yeah,
had to
$2
Canadian.
It's still a lot for us though.
Yeah, no.
Fucking. I have gotten the worst fucking luck. This is the 3rd week in a row where I would have beaten everybody else on my fucking league,
Except for
but the person I'm facing. I have the most points. I'm currently 10th, 2-6, and for my football people out there, I have Tua, I have Tyreek Hill, I have Mixon, Kenneth Walker, I got Kareem Hunt, didn't start him, Mike Evans. Bro, my team is disgusting. Kittle, I have Kirk, who is going off normally. This week, not so much. I put up 130-something points. Jacoby Myers. I've been putting up bare points, and I keep fucking losing. It's disgusting.
It's unfair.
In my other two leagues, I'm killing it. So it is what it is.
It is what it is.
I'm at least first in this league. That's
Me
all
and
that matters
Sam are
right now.
so far behind you guys. It's actually.
You know what?
I know
we'll start with the
That's all I wanna
the
say.
bottom.
We're doing so
Let's start with the
bad.
bottom feeders. Let's do that.
Yeah, we'll work
Not
our
with
way up.
me. I will say for the Eagle Eye ones, I did have this guy in there, and I transferred him out stupidly. So
That's on
and then he
you.
gets some
Hopefully, it
assist
wasn't
and
for
clean
Rick
sheet.
Kelly. Or
It wasn't, no, but he's been sent off twice, and I've kept him in here twice.
Get rid of him, lad. What are you doing?
Bruno Varela was indeed. Guimarães.
Bruno
is-
got injured. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Guimarães, since they got what's his name with the hat,
Alvaro
Alvaro Pacheco, balling.
That's why I
balling.
transferred 3 of them in. I think I transferred Jota and Fernandez, and they both did very well. But then
Yeah.
Rafa, obviously, Benfica lost. Galeno didn't even play, I don't think. Ascenda, fair enough. And Jokeris stunk up against Boavista as well.
Yeah.
Ascenda's a solid fantasy player because he's like one of the few things on Vizela. So,
But yeah,
You know,
Bruma
he
got
play every
injured, so he
game.
didn't play either. And then Mangala apparently is out for a
Your
while.
bench
so-
did not help you again, though. Your bench has really let you down.
But what's annoying on the phone version doesn't tell you who's injured. You just have to guess, or you have to
hope.
research it. But
it's mashallah and goodbye, bro.
There's me.
With Bruma too, though, he also didn't start against Real Madrid. So everybody that was begging for him to get on the fucking national team,
Yeah, I guess.
look yourself in the mirror, okay?
See, if Bozanique's goal counts and then Paulinho still comes on and scores, I would have had bare points.
Yeah.
Rafa and Di
Jota
Maria
in there,
both let
fair
me
enough.
down. Jota and Eustachio saved me this week.
Yeah.
Diomande getting the start and the clean sheet helped me out.
Lelo's always solid.
Lelo's
13
always
points on the
solid.
bench.
Manu on
Oof.
the bench is what really killed.
Oof.
Tebow was
He's
hurt
got
at
you
the
too,
points.
bro.
That's the one that kills.
Yeah, not great.
And then for Chris,
Although I am glad I kept Eustache because I was very close to dropping him, and he's bounced back the last couple weeks. Like Chris, this is just unfair.
Pedro Gonçalves, Dominguez, Ronald, Inacio, of course, get the clean sheet. Diego
Costa getting a win
on the bench. No one really. I've not found that before.
Yeah.
But yeah, not bad. And then, of course, you got the main man, Danny, out at first place. Them two are very close between you and Chris.
Yeah, Chris
It's
is close though.
you
Chris
guys,
killed it this week though, low key.
I was going to say,
you're
me
good too.
and Richard are close together.
I
And then you
gained
two.
10 points on
Yeah.
Danny. I'm still over 100 points away from him. That says a lot.
So Danny had Diego Costa, Jean Mario, Pedro Gonçalves got points. Then I guess it's just some random ones. Some
Mark,
2-pointers, some 3-pointers.
Gets a point. Antonio Silva gets him
6
a couple
points on the bench. Fujimoto.
and 3 from Lello as well. Wendell was
instead of
hurt.
Buta. But because it was Benfica, bro, I decided to keep him on the bench, right? I put him even on the last spot because
Yeah, because you were probably
Benfica-
figuring Benfica's probably got a
Danny,
lose.
man.
Probably got
sixth in Canada.
out of
yo,
80.
and I'm from the 6, baby. It's
He
meant to
is.
be, bro. I'd rather be 6th than 1st, you know? Shout out to Drake.
I wonder if you know the person who's in first. I wonder.
I know. I'm pretty sure it's him. It's this Justin from the Portuguese corner or the Portugal corner, I should say.
Yeah.
I think he's up there in term. I think he's ahead of me, but so yeah, shout out to him and shout out to the Portugal corner. But,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Fun show.
most definitely. Before we wrap things up, we've got some questions. So since we got two of you here, I'll spread out the questions. So Dan, you get the first one from Nuno Gabriel. Shout out Nuno Gabriel. He says, Thick Vic seems off against Boavista. Do you think the red card messed with his head? Was it a bad game, or did Boavista just know how to keep him quiet?
I don't think it's so much the red card, because I think the red card would only affect him if he's on the bench the next game. Personally, I think that's how most players would think. I think just Boavista defensive. Petit knows how to set up his teams defensively solid. So I think that's more of what it was. I'm just so glad that I see Thick Vic on the timeline. I wish Portuguese Twitter would also embrace it. I understand it's a different language and all
that, but
I think Thick Vic is a great nickname to have, and I'm kind of disappointed that the Sportingistas didn't even, make up their own version in Portuguese. We need to do better. I think that's where I'm at with that.
Yeah, agreed. And Richard, to you, after Esga's performance in Speech Marks versus Raquel, is it time to bench him and finally give Fresneda some minutes, or do you reckon Jenny should get the minutes? What do you think?
Well, Jenny got the minutes the last game, so you could make that argument. Fresneda is just unlucky, and he got like a minor injury that'll probably keep that. He's probably going to be back from in a week. Esgaio's not been bad enough to be like just outright bench him. That's a thing. Danny was first one on that wagon.
Visionary, baby.
I think right now I'd give it to Jenny before Fresneda.
Yeah.
That being said, I would like to see more Fresneda. Just maybe not throw him to the wolves in a random game against like Atalanta.
Yeah.
I have a question about that as well. Do you guys genuinely think he's injured? Because when I tweeted that he was injured on Saturday because it was a random shoulder injury, the amount of quotes we got just saying injured or like Ruben, he's pissed off Ruben Amorim or something like that. Do you think
we don't know? We just put out what we've seen in the reporting.
No, I'm asking. Do you think
I do. I only say I do because we're not the type of we didn't do that with Fatau. We didn't really do that with Gonzalo.
I'd like to think we're above
Vinagre, though. We did do it with Vinagre.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
I'd like to think we're a bit above that, and we're not that fucking petty.
It's not even being petty. Sorry, go Sam.
I was just having it's legit just because with his agent coming out the other day, if it wasn't legit, his agent would be straight away in the press. So
Yeah, I
Yeah,
agree.
we would have probably heard more about it than just a bunch of people on
it might not
Twitter
even be like a
saying-
proper injury. It might be like, oh, I've hurt my shoulder a bit, and then Amorim's like, okay, I'm not risking you then. Like, just
It's probably, and that's what it came across as to me. It was just a minor thing, but like
Yeah, nothing.
it would
crazy.
just be it wasn't anything serious, but it's enough where he's not going to be comfortable in a game.
I
yeah.
also think I'm with Jota here in terms of I think Jenny. You start until he proves you wrong at this point. He's like
You ride the hot hand.
He's like Mike.
The only
Evans
thing that
on my
worries me
fantasy
about
football
Jenny
team.
is if he plays against like a Benfica or a Porto where they
You're
have a
very
constant
culpable
winger.
defensively.
Yeah. That's
But
why maybe
here's
this
my
guy needs
thing.
to start those games.
I think on the left wing, then we will have Matheus Reis because, to be honest, I like Nuno Santos as much as the next guy.
But
I can't really pick out I think both of them have been shit this year.
They both
shit,
they've
but
both not
both
been
been
great.
poor.
Mateus Reis, I just don't want to see 20 failed crosses game. Keep him as like a left-footed centre back up to Inacio, and I think leave the left wing to I don't know, Nuno Santos and maybe someone else. But
I think he at least provides us a little more stability on those big games in terms of defensively. I'm with you. I don't want to see Matheus Reis like bombing forward like Nuno Santos does. There's no like I'm not even comparing them that in that sort of scenario. I think Nuno Santos is way better than Matheus Reis bombing forward, and I think Matheus Reis is way better than Nuno Santos defensively.
Unless maybe you put Jenny at left back and then keep either Fresneda or Esgaio right back. Yeah,
I'm not opposed to that too. But I do like that Jenny is a left-footed right wing back. I think it offers us a bit more. The only issue is, and this is something we've all complained about, especially earlier on, is Jenny on the right wing can't really fucking cross because he doesn't have a right foot. He's left-footed, right?
Yeah.
Unless he cuts in. But I think against a team like Benfica that we're facing in like 10 days or 11 days, they'll be they'll know of that. So they'll show him more wide than they would inside, right? But
worries me about that as well. Jenny and Diamande both off to AFCON in January, so that's two players
They're
probably
probably.
We'll see. Though they might decline.
You assume.
I don't think they will.
No, they're not declining.
I think Jenny might decline because Mozambique don't really have a chance with all.
But I still think it's the first time they've been in a while, so I think it will probably be him going.
It's a worthwhile experience to still go, like international cup football,
and it will definitely be a starter as well. So for him, it's like
he might be the captain if he continues.
It's a major international competition. You're stupid to turn it down.
They've got that left back from Atletico Madrid, I think, plays for Mozambique. Is it Reynaldo or right back maybe?
Oh right.
Yeah, he's a fullback.
I think he's their captain. But yeah,
they also have the what's his fucking name he played like years at Maritimo.
Oh, what's the
Zaindan or Zaindine?
Oh yeah, the centre back. Yeah, the captain, right?
Or whatever. He played for Nacional.
He's solid though.
Yeah, he's good.
Yeah.
He's just old now. He's probably like 36, 37. But
he's got to be in his 30s.
Yeah.
I would expect them to go. I would expect them to come back somewhat fatigued, depending on the runs they go. I mean, I expect Cote d'Ivoire to do relatively well. They're always a candidate to.
They're always good, yeah.
They're always a candidate in AFCON to do well. They're one of the big, kind of the heavy hitters.
Yeah.
Traditionally, the last 20, 25 years. Mozambique, maybe not so much, but you never know. AFCON is a bit of a funny thing where there's no real guarantees. It's tournament football, so anything can happen, especially in Africa. Things can get a little nutty the way they go.
With the lasers in the Salazar.
Lasers in the
what do you call those? The not the bazookas, the vuvuzelas.
The South African fans love that. So yeah, it'll be. I imagine they'll go, so that'll hurt depth a bit for January and maybe a little bit into February, depending on how well they do. But
yeah.
I would be surprised if they turned down an invitation to go. Like, you're stupid to turn that down.
Gonna say, might reach out to the plug and get a Mozambique Jenny shirt. That would be no one else can have that.
Yeah. What's the plug? DH Gate?
There's some guy on
WhatsApp.
Some dude.
My friends.
I know there's gonna be some Euro snobs that turn their nose at AFCON, but like, it's a major international competition. You're dumb to turn it down. There are some Euros. There's There's Prem snobs turn their nose at it because they're the center of the universe.
Yeah.
But the
I
real,
mean,
the real
every
dream-
other day I see Onana will go to AFCON. Onana won't go to AFCON. And it's like
They're probably better without him, to be
without
fair.
him.
Yeah,
100%,
honestly.
brother. 100%. I hope he does go.
Who's better without him, Cameroon or Man United, or both?
Well, I see that apparently they're re-signing De Gea, Man United. I think.
Yeah, I
Did
see
they?
that too.
Backup.
I see
Yeah,
that
as because for when he goes to AFCON.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
I think
guess
they've also been watching. They've been watching Sam Fonseca's FM24 career save, and they realized that Sam decided to go with Andrew over De Gea. So they do understand that De Gea is still available in the market, so it's better to go for De Gea over
Yeah.
Andrew in this case.
I think Andrew only cost me what 700. No, he's like
Brother,
4
it
million.
was a solid. It was a solid purchase.
It was a
Solid
good
purchase.
player. It was good. It was a good.
I
buy.
just
Messing up
hated.
today.
I haven't watched
Good
episode
buy.
2. Episode 2's out now, but I will be watching.
Yeah.
I just hated. What's Kawat's hating for?
Yeah.
And Dan quite in like the first
What's his
2
problem?
That's what I'm
minutes.
saying. But then in the meeting, you're like, all right, guys, we're gonna go for this and that. And I see Kawat's like right away, like, I love this. Like, yes, coach. It's like, yo,
Yeah.
why are you hating?
There's another
earlier?
bit in this episode as well where like something happens and a player goes to the rest of the team and it's like Coates disagrees with this player. I'm like, what is your problem?
Like,
Are
what's
you with me?
Sebastian? What's your problem? What are you got beef for, man?
All I did, I was
why?
like, oh, I see he's got an extension, you know, he's a good player, stay it for another year. He's like, bro, what the fuck?
Who
I
the
didn't
fuck
want to
is
say
that?
it.
And I'm just
Guy's
like, what
a
are you saying
hater,
fuck
bro.
him for?
Yeah, facts.
And but yeah, episode 2 out today, so feel free to watch that
Check
if
it out.
you want. But yeah, I guess that will wrap us up for today. I don't think there's anything else that is coming up. But on Friday, as we mentioned before, the eye emojis are back because we have got
We
something planned. Well, we've already done it. We've already filmed it. It's all ready to go on Friday. We've got some very, very special guests. So make sure you follow us on all things Alvalade, on X, on all social media platforms, on all podcast platforms, especially YouTube as well, to see that. It'll be live 8 p.m. on Friday GMT, and obviously what other times that translates to as well. So make sure
4 p.m. Eastern.
4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Thank you very much. And then I guess that'll be it. So hopefully we'll see you on Friday. Danny, follow him there.
Let me just say, there is somewhat of an Easter egg / hint throughout the podcast. Kind of. Think outside the box. That's all I'm saying for what might come.
Interesting.
Definitely.
I'll let you guys know.
Yeah. And Richard, make sure you follow him here. And Chris had to leave us today, but you can follow him there. And you can also follow me there as well. Also, that app, where is it? That app is the same as my YouTube one. So make sure you follow that one as well. But yeah, that's it from us. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next time. Peace.